What's up, geeks? It's J-Law.
It's Kev.
Nate here.
And we're back with another episode of... This is where we share our thoughts before and after we see the latest and greatest movies.
This time, we're talking about Detective Pikachu.
Starring Canada's own Ryan Reynolds. All right, here we go.
As a 90s kid, I grew up with Pokémon. They were in my cereal, they were in my cards, my TV shows, everything. I remember actually going to different card shops and battling the gym leader there and getting actual badges. Did anyone else do that?
I grew up with Pokemon mostly because I have younger brothers. Every day we'd come home from school and we'd watch the show on YTV. We collected the cards, played together, trading Pokemon back and forth. It was kind of a thing that I grew up with, sharing with my younger brothers, which made it, pretty cool and special for me in that regard.
My relationship to Pokemon is I have no relationship to Pokemon. I have zero relationship to Pokemon. The only relationship I have to Pokemon are these two guys. That's not to say I was never a fan or I disliked Pokemon. I just never really got into it. It seemed so vast that I was almost intimidated to get into it.
As far as Pokemon in theaters, there really hasn't been too much. I do remember seeing the first Pokemon movie, Pokemon 2000. I think that was the first one.
Actually, it was called Pokemon the First Movie, or Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back. Rookie.
But this is completely different. Now we're seeing live action characters interacting with these animated Pokemon that, for better or worse, look really different.
I personally love the design of the characters. I think if you're going to bring them to life, to give them the sort of textures and characteristics they have, they can't be static 2D images like in the games, people. They need some life to them, and Pikachu's a mammal. Of course he has fur. Get over it.
When I first heard about a Detective Pikachu movie, I was pretty skeptical, to say the least.
I love this idea of immersing ourselves into a cityscape just alive with Pokemon, and love that idea. I'm so excited to see it brought to life. Plot-wise, I'm not sure. Just give me Pokemon fighting each other for badges. Why aren't we basing it more on the story of the games instead of creating this whole other world that almost seems unnecessary?
But I actually think it's kind of smart that they decided to start with Detective Pikachu. Here you have a familiar Pokemon, but entirely different from what everyone already knows of Pikachu.
I think they know how to take the world and give us something that plays off our nostalgia. I'm excited to see all the little Easter eggs that they're going to plant in various parts of this movie.
Would they be Easter eggs or like Pidgeotto eggs?
Getting to see how the people of Rhyme City interact with the Pokemon in ways that go just beyond fighting with them is really exciting.
I guess the only thing I'm really worried about for this movie is that I feel like I saw most of it in that second trailer. And my theory is usually when they put a lot of the visuals and the action and the surprises.
Don't show me that Mewtwo's gonna be in the movie. I'd like some surprises.
Kind of shows a bit of the studio's uncertainty of how well this is going to perform.
Depending on how well this movie does, I'm intrigued to see if they do create a Pokemon cinematic universe, or if this is really just going to be a standalone story on its own.
I really have no expectations. I don't. I have zero expectations. So that being said, going into this movie, I am looking forward to seeing how they transition this animated world into a cinematic world.
On the hype scale, I'm going into this movie at a solid Mew 2. 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm at a 7.5.
Dittos!
I'm at 5 Squirtles on the hype scale. All right, so that's our hype level, guys.
So let's head to the Poké Shop, pick up some potions, antidotes, and popcorn, and check out this movie. And we'll catch you after. Get it? Catch ya?
Did you just talk?
Whoa. Did you just understand me?
Oh my god, you can understand me! Stop! I've been so lonely!
They try to talk to me all the time. All they hear is Pika Pika.
You can hear him, right?
Pika Pika! Yeah, Pika Pika Pika, he's adorable.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
Can no one else hear him? There's magic that brought us together, and that magic is called hope.
We just got back from Detective Pikachu. A wild spoiler is approaching.
I think from a visual standpoint, seeing these Pokemon brought to life after 25 years of being a fan was a great experience, and it only made me want more in the future.
Seeing Rhyme City and the live-action Pokemon fit perfectly in that world, and it didn't feel like there were too many Pokemon that were out of place.
The Pokemon looked so lifelike. I feel like if Pokemon were real, that's what they would look like.
So if they keep making live-action Pokemon movies in the future, I hope they all look like this.
While this might be a one-and-done standalone movie, I think it's opened up this world and shown that it might be possible to tell some really fun and exciting stories in this world with these characters.
I absolutely loved Ryan Reynolds. He was totally the personality of this movie. And for someone like me who wasn't necessarily eager to see this film or isn't a huge Pokemon fan, it was definitely the charming part of the film.
To have Ryan Reynolds sort of introduce us to this world, being able to talk and communicate was kind of a smart strategy to get the whole ball rolling. We can go forward with some more human stories with their sidekick Pokemon, instead of having Pokemon be the main character. My only concern would be going forward without having that sort of almost Pokemon translator that Detective Pikachu was for us. Will we be able to see the sort of personality and understand the Pokemon as well without that character?
I also really liked how they took things from our real life experiences with the Pokemon franchise and baked them into the movie. I mean, Pokemon cards are canon now. That's awesome. It really made me feel like Pokemon are real.
I don't like that all the best parts of this movie were in the trailer. Plot and all the action scenes, everything.
I guess, to be honest, I'm not really sure what I was expecting, but it was very much so a kids movie. It did have to be more of a kids movie, but as a 30-something-year-old fan, there wasn't as much mature themes and ideas in the movie to sort of carry my entertainment level throughout.
I really didn't enjoy the storyline. I felt like the main antagonist's goal at the end to turn people into their Pokemon, it was just such a underbaked idea.
I mean, that was one stupid plot to take over the world. And what are you going to do if you got like a crappy Pokemon as your sidekick? It's one thing if you get to morph into the body of Charizard, but imagine, Weeping Bell. Like, ooh, that's a fun one to get stuck in.
Also, the fact that Detective Pikachu was actually Tim's dad the entire time. That's how he could understand him and talk to him. Like, what? Like, Adam, yeah, that's just weird.
And not enough battles. Let's go. Pokemon fight each other. I want to see battles. I did think it was a really clever use of the Ditto character, and I'm not sure if anybody saw that coming, and then when she takes off the glasses with those freaky little eyes, I mean, that was a pretty cool use of a character. Ditto's kind of one of those fan favorite sort of characters, so to bring it to life in a creative, almost evil and nefarious way was a really fun use of that character.
My favorite moment in the movie was unfortunately also the shortest moment in the movie, and that was the Pokemon battle scene. They're underground, and Loudred as a beatbox machine was incredible. Seeing them play that music, I wanted to go back and watch that scene over and over and over again. I really wish we could have gotten more moments like that throughout the film.
What I like, though, is that this was just a little glimpse into that world and then into this underground world. That just opens the door for future movies.
I really don't understand how, given at the end, when Pikachu becomes Pikachu and Tim's dad becomes Tim's dad, how they can keep Detective Pikachu going. I mean, are they gonna somehow get him, like ram him back into Pikachu somehow?
I would love to see more focus on the trainer battle lifestyle.
Get out of the city, hit some Pokemarts up, see some Poke Centers.
This was a good taste of what Pokemon can be in the cinematic world, but I think true fans from the 90s, they want to see this world of Pokemon battling Pokemon, earning badges, and earning your ranks, and becoming the best.
Let's get back to the roots, where this started, where the games start. I want a young trainer learning about Pokemon, discovering this world in front of him, and going on an adventure. Get some badges, get some battles, hit the Elite Four up, discover a legendary Pokemon in some cave. I just want to see a game brought to life.
I would love to see a trilogy of movies. Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, and Pokemon Yellow. But I think I'm hoping for a little too much. I think it would be really cool if they had an animated Pokemon cinematic universe that gets away from the anime style and maybe goes with more of a Into the Spider-Verse style of animation. How cool would that be? Look, I understand this is a kid's movie, but it was marketed towards kids in the 90s who grew up with Pokemon and made for kids today?
The story is simple. It has a very childish, playful story to it. It's a kid's movie.
I don't think it did enough to bring people who aren't into Pokemon. I think people that walked into the theater who weren't very interested in Pokemon left the theater not very interested in Pokemon. And I think as far as satisfying hardcore fans like myself, I can't quite say that it did that. But I think for kids, it's still a great movie. And overall, as far as video game movies are concerned, it's one of the best. Not that that's saying much. I went into this movie at 7.5 dittos on the hype scale. And I left this movie at 7.5 dittos on the hype scale.
So going into this movie, I was at a Mew 6 on the hype scale. Coming out of it, boom, right there at a Mew 6. Didn't blow me away, didn't surprise me, didn't challenge my expectations, but it lived up to what I kind of thought it was going to be. And I'd see another one. So it was a success in that regard.
So going into this movie, I was at 5 Squirtles on the hype scale. Coming out of this movie, I'm still at 5 Squirtles on the hype scale. So I guess it kind of lived... It didn't move past the hype, it met the hype. Thank you for tuning in for today's episode of Up to the Hype.
With so many movies coming out this summer, I'm sure one will fail to live up to the hype. We'll just have to wait and see.
What was your favorite Pokemon that you got to see in live action form?
What were some of your favorite lines or moments from the movie?
If you could be any Pokemon, which one would you be?
Was there a Pokemon missing that you wish you had have seen? Where do you think the live action Pokemon world goes from here?
Did you suddenly crave coffee that whole time?
Let us know in the comments below.
And as always, we are Geekcentric.
And you can be too.
So if you like this video, share it with your friends, give it a thumbs up.
Be sure to subscribe.
Do all the things, all right? All 151. And we'll see you in our next video.
Get home safe, guys.
Love ya.
Peace.
What were those stupid mushroom things? Yeah. Imagine that was your sidekick and you get warped into the little mushroom guy. Like, your life sucks.
Yeah.
Another round. Extra shot, black as night. Thank you, sweetie.
In my jellies. It's a thing.